Okay, so a lot of y'all already knew Preston because he runs a G Body forum in he runs a G Body forum. So a lot of y'all already knew Preston because he has a really, really big G Body forum and a big following on Facebook. So quite a few of y'all already knew him before I posted his story on my page. So after I posted his story on my page, you guys know that he had an accident on June 30th. Hey, he had an accident on June 30th. So, um, a lot of y'all were like, "What happened? What's going on?" You guys look for the updates on how he's doing. So you guys know that I visit him every week. The only week I missed visiting him was last week because I was in Florida. But it's always been the plan for him to talk about what happened to him because I didn't feel comfortable telling his story. So yesterday when I went to see him, he decided that today he's gonna go ahead and he's gonna talk about it. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the questions box. But for the most part, he's just gonna talk about what happened to him. So it looks like Preston just joined, so I'll go ahead and bring him on. And so let me just say a brief disclaimer. Okay, so I want to say that some of the description may be, if you're a visual person, it may be a little bit hard for you to hear, but I think it's definitely something worth him saying because you guys asked me what happened and what's going on. So first,
What's
Preston,
going on?
thank you so much. I appreciate you because this will save me from having to tell your story in my own words and having to say it 100,000 times.
Right. Yeah,
so, so we'll let you talk about it. Like I said, first I want to tell you thank you because um, I know having to relive this or re-talk about it again may not necessarily be what you want to have to do, but I definitely think it's a lot of people, especially people that are in the line of work that you were in, um, that just need to be aware of what happened. You know what I'm saying? So they can try and protect themselves, or I feel like it's a lesson in everything.
oh yes, most definitely.
So,
Most definitely.
so thank you.
Oh yes. But thank you for putting me on. And
You're welcome.
you know, I want to go ahead and get it out the way now too. Thank you for always showing your support. That means a lot to me and my family, a lot. We are very, very grateful for that. So I do want to tell you that up front. I appreciate it. All the traveling, coming back and forth every week to come and see me and check on me. I really, I really appreciate that. That keeps my spirits up, and definitely, this it helps motivate me and my wife. Because I don't know, it lets us know that people care.
Right.
And
But that's the thing that I feel like we're supposed to do. Like I tell people, it's a couple of things that I say. Everybody always talk about how there ain't no good people in the world. Well, if you can't find a good person, be a good person.
mm,
And the other thing is, as long as we all do our part. So I'm just doing my part when it comes to you. You know what I'm saying? That helps to let you know that there are, like you said, still good people in the world. And I'm just doing what I know you guys would do for me.
fact,
If something, God forbid, were to happen, you gonna be there.
yes,
You know
big
what
fact,
I'm saying?
big fact.
So I know that. So why wouldn't I do that for you?
Understood. Yeah, I respect that. So
So with
yeah,
that being said, let's go back to June 30th of this year. What
yeah,
happened? I think we've never gotten into it this way, but I want you to just talk to me about like how the day started, like what happened, and then we'll move towards what happened um to cause the accident.
yeah. Yeah. June 3rd was like every typical darn Friday. We was pretty much going into work. We was preparing for a Fourth of July weekend, and so we had it's pretty much like a shutdown. And so shutting down of a plant. I work at a U.S. I'm not gonna name the plant. I work at a plant where we make engine valves, so your intake and exhaust valves. Um, and so in my department of the plant, we it's pretty much the last phase before almost the last phase before they get shipped out to the manufacturers. So and it's basically we clean the valves and all that stuff, make them good and smooth for you. And with that process, it's called a nitride process. So it goes through like I think it's like 8 different tanks. You got like washing, a preheat, and then you got like a cyanide tank, and you got a quench salt tank, and then your post wash and drying out. For the shutdown, we were supposed to be emptying our nitride tank, which is actually your quench salt tank. And it was crazy because that day I was on the phone with my wife, and I was, cause before we started the whole process, I was on the phone with my wife, and I was like, man, I don't feel like doing none of this stuff. It was just, I just wasn't in the mood for it. I was really ready for the weekend to start and just enjoy my weekend. And yeah, so my break is over because I didn't know exactly what it was that I was doing. Because this is like the process hasn't been done in 15 years. And the personnel that had done it before, they was on vacation. So everybody that was there, brand new to this. Yeah, I go into to my department or whatever, and so they're ready to start the process. And it's like the tank is, I want to say it's like a 900-gallon tank or something like that.
Wow.
But we're filling it, we're pumping it out into these 20-gallon, 50-gallon barrels. Pumping it into these 50-gallon barrels. And quench salt is literally just what I call it is table salt. It's just melted to liquid form, which is 1,500 degrees Fahrenheit.
Ooh.
Yeah. And so, the thing about that is like once you melt it down and you start pumping it out, you can't stop the pump or it'll freeze. It'll freeze real quick and it'll clog up everything. So we started the process. It was 2 guys. One guy's on the left hand side, one guy's on the right hand side, and it's a pipe that sits in the middle. And so you got 4 barrels, and you got one guy, he controls the pipe on the left hand side for 2 barrels. One guy controls it on the right hand side for 2 barrels. And once they started the pump and they started filling the barrels. Now, once it's doing that, you got to mind you, it's 1,500 degrees, so it's gonna get hot real fast in that area. 2, it's gonna put out a whole bunch of smoke, and so with that smoke, like I said, we got a cyanide tank. So now you're gonna be inhaling cyanide gases and all of that stuff. So our safety guy, because it put out like a massive cloud, and it was literally like I wouldn't be able to see 5 feet in front of me. Our safety guy, he went and got us some, like a little COVID mask or whatever to, protect us from the cyanide gas or whatever. And so he had gave me the pack, and the 2 guys that were controlling the pipe, I was supposed to give them one. One of the guys, the first guy tried to give him one. He said he didn't want it. Okay, cool. So I had to go to the other side. And now, mind you, we have on like a full heat suit, but the suits are not made for 1,500 degrees liquid. It's made for just like flame retardant. So I go over to the next guy to offer him a mask. And I will say at that point, it's kind of confusing because I was telling my wife, like, when all of this first happened, I remember the story this way. And then like, it was like maybe 2 or 3 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks later, it was like my brain caught something different, like different, like something else happened during that same time. So it is a light confusion for me about exactly what happened at this point. But I do remember giving him a mask, and when he reached for the mask, he was holding the pipe. And so instead of using his free hand to, grab the mask, he used the hand that was holding the pipe. And so when that happened, it was like the pipe just started going, just swaying left and right. And so you got this liquid, just, 1,500 degrees worth of corn salt going left and right. And so I immediately try to turn to run. And so, and I'm a pause because I'm gonna back up a piece, because it was a portion of, like I said, about 3 or 4 weeks later after this whole accident, it came back to me. It was like I remember seeing him put on the mask, and I remember him I remember seeing him put on the mask, and it was almost like it was before the pipe started swinging. So I don't know exactly that whole portion, but I do remember the pipe swaying, and it's just throwing this fluid left and right. And so as I go to turn and try to run, I fall. And so I remember at this point, all that stuff is on the ground now. And it was like, I felt like a flapping fish. I'm not going to lie. Like, I tried to get up and I fell again. I tried to get up again. I fell again. And they said that the guy that was, that dropped the pipe or whatever, he tried to pick me up too. I don't remember that portion, but I do remember seeing him and his hand on the barrel, and it was like the barrel that he was filling up, that one ended up falling on the ground also, and that's when I was actually on the ground. And so at that point, it was like, I need to get out of here, and so I just turned, and I'm telling you, a part of me wanted to give up. I thought my life was over. I'm sitting there screaming as I'm like trying to crawl out. I am like, this was it. It was like a Final Destination type shit. Like, excuse my language, but that's literally what I can consider it as. And it was like, I wouldn't wish this on anybody, but yeah, that entire time I'm sitting there crawling, and it's like, I don't know. I know it had to be adrenaline. I know it had to be partially my granny, because the accident actually happened on my granny's birthday. She had passed that year prior, or 2 years prior. Um, that was my favorite lady. And so I know it was partially her, pushing me out of that building. And it was like, when I finally made it out, because it was almost about 50 feet I had to crawl to get out, versus like, had I been thinking instead of panicking, if I would have just turned right, I would have only had to crawl maybe 10 to 15 feet, and I would have been out of it. But I panicked, and I was just flight mode. I got to go, get out, get away from it. And but yes, I remember I get outside of the building, and I'm screaming, like, because with quench salt, it's a corrosive. So like, once it hits your skin, it'll continue to dig into your skin and eat away until you neutralize it. And like, the only way to neutralize it, from what I was told, was vinegar. You put vinegar on it. And so I'm sitting there screaming hey, get vinegar. Where's the vinegar at? And, to pour it on me. And they come over, and it's literally, let me see that bottle, babe. A bottle this big, pretty much. A small little bottle. It didn't even have that much. Doused my right arm. And literally, I watched should have took this stuff off so that y'all can actually see all of this. But literally, I watched my arm. I don't know if you can tell, but this is where the skin graft is. I watched my arm, literally, the skin here detach and like literally just dry up, and I literally like we watched it just dry all the way up and break off all the way up until it went to my thumb. And I'm still, adrenaline is still with me at this point, and I'm just like, what the fuck? Excuse my language. And I'm sitting here cussing, and I'm like, man, somebody call my wife. And Tanisha, she's here now. She wasn't even my wife then. Our wedding date was supposed to be July 22nd. So I was literally 22 days away from my wedding and had this accident. And she was actually on her way to New Orleans with her mom to celebrate. She was at the Atlanta airport, and luckily, I was able to get a hold to her, 'cause I think she was about to board the plane, and tell her like, "Hey, baby, it was a freak accident. I am messed up," and she's like messed up. I'm like, it's horrible. And I'm sitting one of the guys that was trying to calm me down. He was talking to my wife, trying to make it seem like it wasn't nothing that bad.
It's not so bad. It's gonna be okay.
And I'm like, no, baby, I am fucked up. Like, literally,
come now.
Yeah, you need to come like right now. All of this stuff. And so they ended up. The ambulance came, and I won't tell this portion because I don't know, but yeah, the ambulance came, and yeah, they put me on the back, and then that's when they was like, he's gonna have to be airlifted to the Augusta Burn Center. Our hospital wasn't gonna be able to do anything for me. So they drove me to the front of the plant or whatever, and was waiting on for the air evac to come. And so they had ended up like giving me like this what is it, fentanyl. And because I was like, when I tell you I was in pain, the adrenaline finally wore off, and I mean I am screaming, crying, trying to figure out like, why did this happen to me? What did I do to deserve this? I had a shit ton of emotions. I was just trying to figure out like, why? What did I do? Like, I literally, any other day, I always do whatever they say and all of this stuff. And so it was like, it was bad. So they put me under the fentanyl, and it was like that fentanyl. It was crazy because it was like I was laying in the bed, and I honestly felt like I died. And the reason why I say it, because it was like everything just went blank. All I could do was just hear like muffledness, but it was like I was inside of a machine, and I was just going to levels and different levels and higher levels up. And I remember just looking up at the ceiling of the ambulance, and it's like, as I'm hearing the machines taking me to different levels, it's like I'm going through a time warp, and it's crazy. I'm just like, and I see a light, and that's what that is real. I see a light, and then it was like I get right at the very top of the ambulance, and then it's like everything, I come back to life, and the pain is right back again. And so then they ended up sedating me, and yeah, I don't think I came. Well, I know I didn't come to until that Sunday. I already underwent like 4 different surgeries. 5 surgeries already. They was already talking about my foot. I was gonna lose my foot. Ended up losing all of my toes on my right foot, all of my fingers on my right hand. I really wish I could take this off. Take the glove off. Put that back on. And I'll show you my hand. It's Velcro right here. I'll show you my hand. I lost all of my fingers on this hand, and you might as well say it's the same thing on my left hand also, because it's basically it looks the same. I have like little digits. It's just my thumb. You can just pull it straight up. wrapped around there. Just pull it off here. Pull it this way. Yeah, so yeah, ended up losing my fingers on this hand here. And yeah, I just got my thumb. And that thing is like the nail. We got to do some reconstructive surgery with that, plastic surgery with that later on. Let me see. Lost my toes, lost my fingers. Basically lost the same thing on my left hand. Still got my thumb intact. I lost my left foot and leg, basically about 6 inches down from my knee. They ended up amputating that, and so I got like a slight bend in my knee or whatever. And then I don't know if you ever seen my ear, but my ear got burnt up also. They're gonna have to do a plastic surgery on that also. I think that's gonna be outpatient. Yeah, so and like the whole process, I've been here since June 30th. I finally just yesterday they moved me up to the second floor, which I'm gonna be starting rehabilitation now, so that way I can finally go home. Thank gosh. But I would tell you, like, this whole journey has been, it has been an eye-opening experience. I would definitely say that, because I would say I've had a lot. I've had a few kind of a lot. I say a lot of bad days because I'm not. Yeah, yeah. I've had a lot of bad days, but I've had a lot of good days. The biggest thing for me was when I came to from all of this and seeing like my condition, and they telling me and all of this stuff was I didn't think I was gonna be able to marry my wife. Um, I will say the greatest thing was waking up and being able to see her, like she was right there by my side. Um, that in itself was, I think, the best moment I had was seeing her, and I knew I was like, yep, I'm marrying this woman because she's here through worse. And this is like I am literally at my worst. My life has changed. Literally, it has. All the plans that I thought that I had for myself, uh, and for us, it literally, it has been rerouted. I've learned now. God has just rerouted us. It has brought me closer to God also, and so now I'm just like more so just trying to understand, my purpose, and I'm seeing my purpose now um, with that. Um, and I had like some amazing nurses because, like I said, I did not think that I was gonna be able to um, get married. We were gonna be able to keep our wedding date. And luckily, my nurse, she was able to coordinate it with the hospital where we could still get married here. Still keep our date and all of that. Just have a small wedding. Yeah, because it's only supposed
What
to
we
be.
thought was gonna be a
Yeah, what
small
we thought was
wedding.
gonna be a small wedding. Because it's only supposed to be like 15 people. And then they brought a news crew out, and it was crazy because that blew up. We had to do a couple of interviews with USA Today, Fox, what other one? I can't remember,
Yeah, it
but it
was a
was,
lot.
yeah, it was a
A lot
couple.
of local and national news stations that picked up the story and shared it, and
Yeah, it was, yeah,
it was unbelievable.
yeah, so that was great. Just to get to marry my wife, I don't care about none of that news stuff. I just wanted to marry this woman because I knew that she was the one for me. And yeah, that was a great experience. Um, I know this whole thing, it's gonna be like it's gonna be a up and down battle mentally. Um, 'Cause I know I've had like a week where I just felt like I was just mentally attacked. It didn't dawn on me as like my actual condition, because I was thinking like I'm gonna get up out of here. Once I get up out of here, everything goes back to normal. I'm somehow miraculously gonna have my leg back, my back stuff, and I'm gonna be back with my wife. And, yeah, because I was out riding my wheelchair. That was the crazy thing. I was out riding my wheelchair, and she was in the room laying down or whatever. And I come back in and I look at her, and I'm just like, yo, this is gonna be my life. This is it. And I just broke down in the tears for damn near like an hour. I couldn't stop crying because it was like I would stop for a few seconds, and then it would just dawn on me again. That's it for you. Like, all of that stuff that you thought that you was gonna do, nah. So, but this woman had literally been my backbone. And as far as like reassuring me, like, yeah, you might not be able to do this, but you can still do this. You still got this. You still got this, and it's just like, yeah, you're right. Um, I think the biggest takeaway I got from her was like, your situation you can't change. I can't change my condition or my situation, but I can change my outlook on it. I can either just sit there and mope and be negative and like, woe is me, and still be stuck like this, or I can choose to just be happy, enjoy what I do have, and just push on. And so, yeah, I choose to push on and be happy. Cause, yeah, so it makes the time go by a whole lot easier, and so I can naturally, I get to enjoy my life a lot more. And, just this act has made me appreciate a lot of things that I would normally just take for granted. Being able to learning to feed myself again. Um, shoot, now I'm actually able to use the bathroom by myself for the most part. So that, I mean, it's like the simple things like that. Being able to go outside, that was the biggest thing. I think I was stuck in the hospital room, stuck in my room for just like 65,
65 days.
65 days. And without being able to go outside, smell the fresh air or nothing, look out the window and see it. And so, yeah, when my wife and my physical therapist outside that day, boy, I could have cried. It was just taking it all in, smelling, feeling the breeze, feeling the sun. It's like, oh, this is amazing. So, yeah, this accident, I would say it's been a curse and a blessing at the same time. Um, I have no grudges. I did before, but I have come to peace with it, I think, for the most part. Um, I still will say I wish I never went to work that day. I will always say that. But I'm grateful I'm here today, so I can't be upset. It did it exposed a lot of things that within friendships and family. Um, it definitely exposed a lot of stuff for that for me, and I have to move accordingly now. Um, so I think I've received more good out of this than I've received bad. The only bad is losing limbs and stuff like that. But as far as like good, I have I'm a step closer to God. I have, I mean, when I say an amazing, strong bond with my wife, um, I mean, we had a great bond before this whole accident anyway, but I think this thing has literally made us like real strong, to the point where this woman is in my head all the darn time. I be trying to say something, she's saying the exact same thing, thinking the same thing. So it's just, yeah, I love that part the most. Um, yeah, I think that's been great for me. Yeah, I got a whole lot closer with my sisters. We always been cool, but my sisters, we all we got. I've learned that we are all we got, and so I really do love and very much so great. They keep me going. Um,
So I will say this, right?
mhm.
And I don't know if I ever even told you this, right? But you know, I was used to clicking on Instagram every day from the time from the from before June 20th to seeing the countdown.
Mhm.
So I'm excited. I'm like, okay, what am I gonna send them off the registry? I was hounding y'all about a registry, trying
Yeah.
to figure out what y'all need, what's going on. Like I'm inserting myself. Like you was about to marry me and Tanisha, and you didn't even know.
Yeah.
So that day, I mean, like I was saying, okay, well maybe Preston's busy planning the wedding because I haven't seen an update
Mhm.
in a little bit. But then I click on Instagram and I see an update, and I'm like, wait a minute, he's in the hospital. What happened? So instantly, being a car girl,
Mhm.
I'm thinking he was in a car. I'm thinking Keisha is wrecked.
Oh yeah.
I'm thinking, oh God, it's a car accident.
Mm.
Then you reached out to me and you told me that, you told me, you got hurt at work.
Mhm.
And I was instantly like, oh my God. And you started telling me what happened. And I'm like, oh my God. And so now you don't even know this, I think, but when we were talking, I'm crying. But I'm knowing that I can't cry. I'm knowing that I can't cry because I can't cry because I don't want you to cry. Like, I don't want you to be upset. And I know it's already upsetting, right? So then every week, and the only reason I only visit once a week is because we've opened a restaurant now. That's
Mhm.
literally the only. Because if it wasn't for that, I probably would have caught me an apartment down there, or I'll be staying with Tanisha, right?
Mhm. Yeah, but I say yeah, we got an Airbnb 2 rooms.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But you don't even know this that like every week when I would leave the hospital, I would get in my car and drive home and cry because I was like, you you are one of the most positive people I know. And even through this, you've still been one of the most positive people I know. So when I'm going through whatever I'm going through, like I can't even feel a way about what I'm going through because look what you're going through, and you're not even complaining. Like you have down days
Mhm.
or down times, but for the like every week when I come there, you like, hey, how you doing? Whoop de whoop. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? And I'm thinking, and I even would come back and talk to my mom and be like, how is Preston in such good spirits? And the one time my mom was like, because he knows he didn't have to be here. And from then on, I was like, I ain't got to question no more why he's in such good spirits because he knew he had things to live for. He got kids,
Mhm.
he got things going on. He knew he had Tanisha. He knew he had his whole family. And in most cases, like your family depended on you.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you knew you had a lot of people to live for. So I could never. I would leave there. Sometimes I couldn't even make it to the car before I would cry.
Mhm. Understood.
And one day the nurse seen me. I don't even know which one. It probably wasn't your nurse. Like I was getting to the door, and she was like, "You okay?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm fine." And she heard it, and she gave me a hug.
Mhm.
And I'm like, "Oh man." I'm crying like I'm the one in the hospital. You know what I'm saying? I just don't know why. Because I was like, a lot of people don't know this, but me and Preston met because Preston started following me. I started following him. He started getting merch from me, and then when he started working on his car, he started getting car stuff from me. So this has been how long? Maybe 2, 3 years.
Yep, almost 3 years. Yep.
So we've went from following each other
Mm-hmm.
to friends to like family.
Yep.
So in my head, I'm driving home every weekend in the car. I'm thinking my brother is messed up, but I can't say anything because I don't want him to feel like I just don't. I just didn't want you to feel any type of way. I didn't want you to feel like, okay, every time she come in here, she crying, she bringing me down. We gonna have to stop her from coming. You know. So then it started to get better and better and better and better, and I was like, oh my God, I'm so glad it's getting better. But there's still a long road ahead. So when I would come, I would just be like, okay, let's talk about car stuff. We talk about car stuff, and we talk about racing, and we talk about that's gonna instantly make him forget about at least
Everything.
for a little while what he's going through. And then when y'all got married, I was like, oh man. And let me just say this too, because like I believe in giving people their flowers while they are here. Tanisha is I, it's gonna sound weird. It might sound weird to people, but some people might know what I'm talking about. When you meet people and their spirit, their whole presence, their aura just exudes love.
Yep.
So
Yep.
when I watched that video where I think it was either y'all first or second date, and y'all was saying y'all was gonna get married. Now y'all only 2 days in. I'm like, this person is crazy. They is not gonna get married.
Okay. Yep.
But for y'all to still end up getting married, even through all this, I'm like, okay, God knew what Preston needed. And so I feel like it's okay for me to take my hands off of it a little bit because he got somebody that can keep their hands on him. You know what I'm saying? And I don't even know if you ever knew that I felt this way. But I'm just happy that even though all this horrific stuff happened, it's been able to work out. Because I always tell people, it may not work out the way that you want it to, but it always works out for your greater good, whatever that may be.
Right. Yep. And it literally had, like I say, I think I told you yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday. My positivity, my strength, everybody. I get the messages a lot. Like, man, you so strong, so positive, stuff. And I always try to tell them it's because of my wife. Literally, it's her. This woman, she keeps me at bay. I can't. I mean, I can be upset and all that stuff, but it's like when she walks in the room, it's like you can feel it. You can feel the energy, the positivity, and it's like, what's to be bad for? This woman right here, this woman right here on my side. Nothing to be mad for. My kids are healthy; they are doing great. Um, yeah, everything, all of my strength and positivity comes from her love. And the way that she loves me, or just loves, period. People, anybody. Um, literally, and it's crazy because everybody in this hospital, they always say, she's so, she's so sweet. She has a sweet soul. She's so happy all the time. And it's just like, yeah, it's literally her 24/7. She does have her days where she is, tired. And I be trying to tell her, please go on somewhere. Relax. Go get a spa and relax. Yeah, my positivity, strength, and all of that stuff, I really give all of the credit to that is a true fact. Um, yeah, because I don't think my mindset was the same if it wasn't for her. I really wholeheartedly say that. probably be a lot different. A lot different. If it wasn't for her.
So do you know exactly how many surgeries you have had to have throughout this?
Shoot, I would say close to about
Over 20.
yeah, most definitely. I was
20,
thinking
20.
yeah, I was thinking about 30, 35, about 30, almost 35.
Yeah.
And
Um,
they're not even over, right?
no, uh, like I said, I still got to have plastic surgery from here. Um, I think they want to do like a reconstructive surgery on my nail, for my both thumbs. Um, I think those last of the major surgeries. Everything after that, I should be out of the woods. The only thing that probably get me back is like it's called scar bank. So like I don't know if you can tell, but so I can. There we go. Yeah, so like I don't know if you can tell, but like right here, it's like a little, I don't know. It's called scar bank, but what it does is like it'll tighten down like a string, and it'll tighten down on my mouth, like so it makes it hard for me to open my mouth a lot. So they do like a massaging on it. It's like I got to go through this massaging and stuff for 2 years.
Next 2 years.
Next 2 years will be basically
The
scar
healing.
healing. Um, but yeah, as far as more surgery go, just it all be cosmetic. So basically for my ear and then for my thumb, everything else is pretty much good. I got all my skin grafts. Look great. So now it's just literally rehab, and that's getting me, I guess, set up where I can fend for myself part. Um, get my strength back in the leg, get preparation for prosthetic. Um, biggest thing I'm focused on is getting prosthetics for hands. You know, we still got that right. So I need to make sure that my hands be able to keep the car straight. Flying past, and I can be able to pull my prosthetic out the window.
I'm gonna guess you, so it ain't gonna be no. If you put it out the window, you might as well throw it out. I'm gonna guess.
I'm telling you, so yeah. Keisha, she in the shop now, getting ready. Shout out to Mike Ty King for holding me down for that. Yeah, she in the shop getting prepared now. Mr. Swaptober also. Yes, sir. Yeah, they get me right. We're gonna be ready once that day comes. Just know. That's all I'm gonna say.
What's been the biggest lesson you've learned throughout all this?
The biggest lesson I've learned. No, we're not gonna go there. The biggest lesson I have learned out of it. I don't know who I was. I don't want to. I ain't trying to start no war. Yeah, I ain't trying to stir the pot today.
I know you do.
Huh?
If whatever you're trying to say, I know how to say it tactfully.
Yes, I'm trying to make it where the biggest lesson I learned is just to I need to pay close.
Should have been doing that all along.
Yeah.
One thing I always used to tell you, right? The answers to the questions you want to know, you never have to ask. All you have to do is pay attention.
Yep. Literally. And yeah, I learned that.
Discernment is
discernment. Yeah. And the crazy thing is, my sister She was the one that told me that. Rejoice.
Mm-hmm.
She was the one. She was like, matter of fact, it was the day of the wedding. He told me, yeah, after we got married, like, she said, do not let. It was something about. She said something about this, but she was like, do not trust your discernment. Whatever you see in people, or something like that, just don't let it go too long. And I took that to heart when she said it, and that's when I started adding up all of the, some of the stuff that I was dealing with. Started adding up all of that stuff, and I learned now.
Somebody asked, were you the only one that was hurt in the accident?
No, actually, so it was like four of us that ended up getting hurt. The guy that took his hand off the pipe, he ended up losing all of his toes on one of his feet. He was here at the Augusta Burns City Hospital. He didn't have to get care. He came later on that day. The guy that I was trying to get mask to, he ended up getting hurt with smoke inhalation. I started like it blistered his lungs. So he's dealing with that. And then one other guy had like little specks of quince salt that hit him. So he had the mind injury. It wasn't nothing major. He got fit out, all of that stuff. But he was good. I know the worst thing about the whole accident, with this whole thing is the state of South Carolina, I've learned that you cannot sue your employer. So, like, the company I was working for, I can't sue them for this accident.
That's crazy. We can't hear you. I don't know what happened. Hey, Preston, I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
We learned that you can't sue the employer in South Carolina. So if you get injured in South Carolina, you're gonna have to.
That means don't work in South Carolina.
Basically,
Right,
yeah.
contract worker.
Yes, unless you're a temp or a contract worker. That's the only benefit of being a temp. You can actually sue the company.
So if y'all
But
in South Carolina, stay temp.
yeah, stay temp, please. Yeah, especially if you're working in like a dangerous environment like where I was at.
Right.
Yeah, so as far as the legal battle with that, we have, and it's so much. Yeah, I'm glad that we got a lawyer, but like we can't sue the company, but we can sue like the manufacturer, stuff like who made the pipe that was pumping and stuff like that, or the barrels and stuff like that. So, yeah, my lawyer is working that out, so we can try to get that correct. I mean, good thing is workers, they covering all of my medical. So I don't have to worry about coming out of pocket for none. So that was a blessing, Lord. I know we're past the $1 million mark worth of medical bills now. Yeah.
Wow. Well, yeah, because all the surgeries.
Mm-hmm.
Long
Yeah.
I don't
Just
even
the
want to know how much it costs to
scans
stay in
and
the hospital
everything.
for one day.
Yeah. I think just for an X-ray, I was already at like $60,000 when they had to do an X-ray for my chest or something. I was like, God damn. And then like a
Now,
CAT
life flights
scan.
ain't cheap. I don't even want to take an ambulance ride, but I know a life flight ain't cheap.
Yes, it was. Yeah, this is been a doozy.
How have
But
your kids taken it?
um, actually,
Surprisingly well.
yeah, very very well. Um, my daughter, I love that girl to death. She's so positive. I was just like, when I told her I lost my fingers and stuff, I just thought like she was gonna be feeling some type of way, and Like we was on FaceTime. Yeah, babe, I lost my fingers, I lost my toes, and they amputated my leg. And so like I'm expecting her to like start breaking down and crying and stuff. She's like, okay, you're my dad, you know. And I'm just like, oh, okay, well, cool then, you know. I think I was more upset about it than she is. She doesn't care. She just wants me home. That's the biggest thing. She wants me home.
They could have been calling her, telling her dad wasn't here.
Right? Yeah. True. So yeah, she takes it. She takes it in stride. Uh, yeah, because she has her home this week, this Friday, and so I was really upset about missing that. She's like, man, don't worry about it. We'll FaceTime you and make sure that you can see everything and all of this. And yeah, because I was supposed to be her escort, but luckily my cousin did be an escort, so we'll be great. Uh, my job, man.
He probably don't really know what's going on though, right?
Huh? Nah, he don't really know.
No, he know he's in the
Yeah,
hospital.
he knows I'm in the hospital, but he doesn't really know what's going on. Um, my bonus son, Armani, her son is
Coolest kid on the
yeah, the
planet.
coolest kid. Yeah, he really keeps it. You know, he makes it worthwhile. Like he definitely keeps my mind off of all of this stuff. He's gonna make a joke about it, regardless. So it's all he keeps me laughing. So
The first thing he said when I told him about the accident, he was like, dang, so I can't pick on his bald head no more. I just feel bad. And every time he talked to Preston, he say something about his head.
Right, yeah. Let's get off the phone. But yes, I am really excited to get back home and see him. That's one of the big opportunities. Is kids.
You have anybody that you want to say anything to?
Um, really just shout out to my sisters, Simone and Rejoice. I appreciate y'all a lot. Um, my cousin Mike and Brandon. Mike, he works. He works at the plant. He worked in the front office, so he's been. Yeah, because he was one of the first people I was screaming for. I was like, because nobody knew that he was my cousin. Like we never told people, like, unless you knew us already. But like, you didn't know us. You didn't know that we were kinfolk or anything like that until that day. And I was sitting there screaming, "Go get my cousin Mike, call him right now." And like, yeah, he came out there, and that was the first time I ever seen him in tears. I ain't never seen this man cry or anything like that. And, but he's been very helpful as far as like making sure we're straight as far as being down here and all this stuff. So big shout out to him, my cousin Brandon, because he is definitely holding it down for Keisha. Been making sure she's been getting wherever she needs to be at, or especially helping me out with my daughter and her. So I owe him a lot. And I appreciate him. To my wife, obviously, that was always big shout out. And her family, man. I see exactly where she gets like her love and like her, positive attitude and all of that stuff. It's like her whole family literally like that. Like from her mom, her sisters, all that same. Uncles, all of them, they all just, it's like, me and Tanisha we was talking one day. It was like a marriage talking about during marriage counseling, pre-marriage counseling, about how we were raised. Like my family, I was raised off the Bible, so kind of got to make it. Her family, they were raised off of love, so you can you can it's crazy when you see it. It's just like everybody is just in unison, and I love that. And so it's just that shout out to her family. They have been very supportive, very very supportive of my healing, our marriage, all of that. Yeah, I really feel like family there. So a big shout out to them. And a major shout out to you. Again, like I'm telling you, like I really appreciate you. Because you don't you don't have to come down today, but it's the fact that you do, and that like, man, my sis coming. You know what I'm saying? If I know one thing for sure, my sis gonna come. And she understood it. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, that's very motivating. I would say, yeah, it's definitely motivating me with you coming down here. Because I know that's a drive. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, and I remember like when you first started coming, I was sending you like cash. I was sending money on cash. And you're like, why are you sending me money on cash? I know it's a drive to come down here. You know what I'm saying? I was like, that's gas. Gas ain't, you know what I'm saying? But it's just the fact that, you do that because out of love. It's not, you expecting anything or anything about that. It's just because you're a good person. And so yes, big shout out to you. I appreciate you a lot. And everybody that's praying for me, big shout out to you all. I really appreciate it. Please keep the prayers coming.
So the prayers are working.
Definitely working. They are definitely working. So yes, I'm truly blessed. I am truly.
My whole thing is, I'm just doing my part. Like I say all the time, I just know that if something happened to me, you will come see about me. So there's no doubt in, and it helps. It gives me a reason to get on the road and come visit you and come see it. Because here's the thing, I tell people all the time. Even though I may not personally have a significant other in my life, seeing the kind of love that you guys have gives me hope. So being able to just see the love that you guys have. Now let's just be clear. Tanisha could have been like, "Hey, this wasn't what I signed up for."
Exactly.
I'm gonna go ahead and go.
Exactly.
You get what I'm saying? But the fact that she was like, "Oh no, I'm the what that means? Say that's my man, and I'm gonna stick
Stick beside him. Stick beside him.
That gives me like that. Just looking and seeing that, like that just makes me know that, like I say, the world is full of messed up people, and y'all were able to find good people. You get what I'm saying? So that's very inspirational in and of itself. And then, not to mention how positive you be, Preston. Like, I could not dare be feeling no type of way about what I got going on in my little life, knowing what you just have been through. June 30th was probably the worst day of your life.
Most definitely.
And for you to recover from that in the way that you have, I'm like, hey, I ain't saying shit. I ain't saying nothing. I ain't saying nothing about nothing I got going on. I don't care what type of bad day I'm having. I cannot. It can't compare to the day that you had on June 30th.
Understood. So, but you can still feel though.
Right.
You can still feel your way, because I mean, regardless, it could be, I could say that's maybe small, but that's small to me, but it be huge to you. I've learned that feel how you feel, let that stuff out. That's the only way that it'll get better. I would say I'm learning that, to let it out. Still.
There's no right or wrong feel.
Mm-hmm.
Right, but I know, yeah, and here's another thing. Like, I'm not gonna act like everybody believe in God, because different people believe in different things,
Mm-hmm.
right? Most people do believe in a higher power, whatever your higher power is.
Right.
Right.
But this whole situation with you should have really taught people that God is real. Because
Mm-hmm.
just when you told me the story, I was like, I don't know if I would have even had the wherewithal to, to do what you did to even get out of there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what I don't know. I guess you never know what you would have done until you get in
Right.
that position. But just listening to the story, and I think now this is like that's maybe the third time I've heard the story. I do not know. I do not know. I'm just gonna say.
Mm-hmm.
And for you to still be so positive, every time I come, we take a picture. You want to hold your hands up, and you want to, you know what I mean? You smiling, and you have like it's very very refreshing, and it should let a lot of people know that have been following your story since I started posting it, or since you started posting it, or since however they found out about it, to appreciate the small things,
Mm-hmm.
because that'll help you be able to get through the big things, right?
Most definitely.
And if you weren't a person that appreciated the small things, we don't know how you would have got through this big thing, because this is a big thing, and
Yes.
you have a long road ahead of you. I never knew what you said about being able to sue your employer in the state of South Carolina
Mm-hmm.
until you just told me yesterday. I was like, that's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't know that either until our lawyer told us. And he was like, had I been in Georgia or North Carolina, we've been fine. But with being in South Carolina, you can't. The law
They're
protects.
covered workers' comp.
Mm-hmm.
Say it again.
So everything, I think they're covered by workers' compensation. So everything goes through that commission,
Mm-hmm.
and the
Oh,
company is covered because of that.
right. Well, I know it'll all work out the way that it's
Oh,
supposed to, but that is still crazy. That make you want to be. Well, you'll probably never be. You probably never be working again anyway.
oh yeah, no, I
You
don't.
gonna, but that make if I lived in South Carolina, I'd be like, oh, I'm finna get
No,
out of here.
yes. Well, oh, most definitely. That's why I am now a Georgia resident.
I know that's right.
I am now a Georgia resident.
You
So.
better say that. But Preston, listen, I tell you this all the time, but like I say, you're probably one of the most positive people that I know. Definitely were before the accident, and you're still surprisingly one of the most positive people I know, which is so crazy. I always thought I was like the most positive person I knew, but you have far surpassed me on the positivity. Miss Tanisha, anything you want to say? I know I met you through Preston, but I know we're family now.
Yes.
And let me say this too. Um, just me coming in, because I knew you knew of me before the accident, right?
Mm-hmm.
But just me coming in, I want to tell you that I appreciate the way you treat me. Because some chicks would have been like, "Who is this? Come visit my," you know what I'm saying? They'd have been on something else. You get what I'm saying? But you have literally never treated me like that. You have always treated me like if I could call your phone, you're gonna give me an update. You know what I'm saying? Like that is in my book, that's top tier, because in a world full of some women being catty and some women being like, just acting away towards another woman, you have always, like, I could call your phone if I'm not able to talk to Preston, you gonna give me an update on him. You go, like that is really super dope of you to not only share your husband with me, but share your husband with our whole IG
Yeah.
family.
Yeah.
So for
Well, he has an
that, I say
amazing
thank
story. He has an amazing story to tell. Yeah, I'm just here enjoying the process with him. Honestly, but yeah, like he said, we appreciate you because it's not a lot of people that would do what you've done as far as always checking in and just being there, whether, we're family by blood or by love. Like, we're family at this point.
Right. Right.
Well, I
Yes.
come to visit, and it's never about me. So I appreciate y'all saying thank you, but it's not about me. It's truly just about him and everybody contributing to his recovery. Because, like you said yesterday, at the end of the day, none of us are physically going through this. It's
Right.
him. So the only thing that we can try to do is be around him and be able to, lend a listening ear, lend a shoulder if he needs to cry, whatever he needs to do to be able to get through this um, and still feel like Preston, then that's what we're gonna do. And like I said, you are just one of the most loving women that is on the face of this earth. Because baby, let me just tell you, I know it's probably not easy. It's not easy dealing with him now. It's not easy dealing with a whole lot, and the road to recovery is far from over.
Right.
So I know you probably have your days, like he said, but the fact that you can get up and put your game face on and be so positive every day, that's super dope. And
I'm telling you.
I gotta give you a little salute on that.
Thank you. Well, yeah, it's God. God got me, and He got us. That's one thing I do. Like, as long as He was able to stay alive and get into recovery like He is now, I know we good. Because I told him, physical, it's just that. That's physical. But we're soulmates. I see you beyond that. And that's why we're still here. And that's why we're so happy in love.
Right. And then when he get out of the hospital, y'all will finally be able to go on a honeymoon.
Man, yes. Yeah, because yesterday was the first day that I actually got to sit next to my wife. Well, my wife actually got to lay up on me, on the couch and you chilling watching TV since June 29th. Yeah, June 29th. See, that's what I'm saying. But yeah, since June 29th, that was the first time we've been able to actually just lay up together. And I'm telling you that yesterday, boy, I felt like I was on cloud nine. I was like, nothing can make that day bad at all.
Y'all was teenagers again,
Right.
laying
Yes,
up.
basically, yes.
But on that note, is there anything else y'all want to say before we get out of here? I don't have anything else.
No.
I would just say, whatever you're going through, just know that struggle is just it's just a stepping stone for the greatness that you're about to endure. You're about to open up something great.
It's preparation.
Yep, preparation. Yeah.
You see what they said in the comments? They ready for a new edition.
Oh, shoot, you and me both. You trust me, we're gonna be working on that first thing when we get to the house. We're gonna get this stuff to work. I would let y'all see him, but he's tripping right now. So, but yes.
Yes. We will be working on a little niche.
Mm-hmm. Oh God.
You know it's gonna be a girl.
I don't.
Okay.
Yeah, we probably need one though. Cause little Preston, boy, that be. You be in for a doozy.
No, like I say, y'all really definitely give me hope. And to see that video of y'all when it was like I said, what was it, y'all first or second date?
It was our second date.
Mm-hmm.
It was y'all second date, and y'all already talking about getting married. I was like, man, these fools.
Yep.
Getting married.
But the thing is, when we first started dating, we were talking about our honeymoon, like what we were gonna be doing.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of like, it really is one of those situations like, when you know,
Mm-hmm.
and we both were just in the space where we knew what we were looking for in our partner. We knew we had found, and we were just gonna enjoy the process to lead up to where we are now.
Does that mean y'all believe in soulmates?
Oh yeah.
Most definitely. Most
Do
definitely.
y'all feel like you get more than one soulmate?
I do. I feel like, and with soulmates, I feel like there are different levels of soulmates.
There you go.
So, like in this capacity, Preston is the only soulmate that I've ever had. But like also, when like friends, certain friends, but not necessarily family, and even like your children, like there's a connection that you have that can only be described by like the connection that you have with your soul and their soul.
That's an interesting perspective. I don't even ever know if I've ever met my soulmate. Do you feel like sometimes people meet their soulmates, but they're busy tied up with things that they know they shouldn't be? Like, say for instance, you're in a relationship, not a
Timing's off.
but like maybe like a timing off thing.
Well, I mean, I've known him.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
We've known each other.
Yep.
Hung with each other like in high school.
Yep.
All of that.
Yep.
But it was, yeah. We practically grew up together.
Yep.
Just separate.
Yep. Basically, yeah. And then it all started in the DM.
Started in the
DM. What happened?
He was sliding in my DM consistently.
Yeah, well, it originally started. I'm not gonna say my attraction came during her. She does reading. So I was on Facebook and I caught on live and had her give me about that I was actually in at the time, and yeah, she had gave me the reading or whatever and told me exactly what I needed to hear, and I think it's like a year later. Yeah, it was almost a year later.
Then he started flirting.
Yeah, but I was definitely stalking her page. Like I would go through there, be looking at her pictures and all of that stuff. I would try to see whenever she's on live, I would try to. Even if I just got to visit for a couple of seconds. Yeah, and I think I was living in Texas at the time. So when I finally moved back here to South Carolina, that's when I started getting DMs and stuff. And she kept on friends on me, and wasn't taking me serious. Then
he took himself serious. Yeah. He applied the right pressure.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, pull up.
I sure did.
Let me get this straight. You told him to break up with the other chick.
No. Because I didn't know what he was saying, but I don't even remember the reading, but I remember it was like, you can choose whatever path, but you gonna go through some stuff if you stay where you at, but it's not gonna be bad if you move on, basically. It's like, it's not gonna be the end of the world. You will still get what you're looking for. You just gotta know how to let go.
You know, that's a lot of people's problem. We have a problem. My grandma used to tell me I always want to fix wounded birds. And what I have to understand is some wounds are far beyond me. I cannot fix this wound. I am not a doctor. I can't stitch you up. You gotta have to go ahead.
Yep.
And you gotta be willing to be fixed.
Yes. Yep. Very much so. And yes.
Yeah, that's how I put it. And it's just like, you know what? That gave me so much clarity. I didn't know that I was reading him about a relationship. I was just giving him the message. And he ended up coming back and telling me, like, this was about a relationship. I know which way I should go. And I can help you. Go and do what you do with your relationship. Get out my inbox.
Hey, girl, I'm trying to tell you I'm single now. I'm a free man. Come holler at me. I'm trying to holler at you.
And then you say it was a year later?
Yeah, yeah, when COVID hit, I ended up quitting my job and moving back to South Carolina. Um, yeah, because I was in the military for almost 10 years. So I was away from my daughter for most of her life, so it was like I needed to come back home. And so I came back home to finish up her school year with her. And yeah, ended up being able to finally get her to agree to a little motorcycle ride date, and we've been
Right
rocking
ever
ever
since.
since. Yeah.
So, Preston, the $1,000,000 question is: had you liked her your whole life?
Yeah, and she knew this. I told her that. I told her, and she don't even remember it. It was it was a college party. Yeah, she doesn't remember it for I took her over there to the parking lot where we were and everything. She still doesn't remember it. But yeah, we was sitting out in the parking lot, and I don't know what it was. It was her and her cousin Yoko. Damn. Yeah, her and her cousin. Yeah, shout out to Yoko. Yeah, and sister. I think it was Trill.
Definitely
Yeah,
true.
definitely.
Shout out to Trill.
Yeah, shout out to Trill. And I remember I was just like, yo, I like this girl. She cute. I like her. But yeah, we had some. She wasn't. She wasn't going. Mm, I was too scared to even shoot my shot then. So it was just like it was just a internal crush. You never know. And I finally got courage.
I gave him the.
Basically, I
gave him the. Because I
because
wasn't
she
just
wasn't getting the
riding.
message.
I wasn't picking up what he was putting down, but I do like riding on motorcycles, and he had made a post, and I'm like, I want to ride. That gave him the green light. Like, all right, yes.
You know what he was saying? You were saying I want to ride. He was like, I want you to ride.
Right. Exactly.
But it's crazy. You know, the crazy thing is about us though. Like I was so nervous being around this girl the whole time. Like our first kiss, she had to kiss me. Like she told me, "Yo, kiss me." I was like, "All right." I was scared. I've been wanting to, you know. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Like everything. Like I don't know. That's how I knew like she was the one because this woman, like, still to this day, I still get like butterflies and shit, and get nervous around her. Um, yeah, it was just like I did not want to mess up. I didn't mess up anything. I didn't want to come on too strong. I didn't want to come on too soft. I just wanted, you know, I wanted it to flow just however it flowed at her pace. I didn't want, you know, I didn't want to, like I'm telling you, I didn't want to mess up nothing. So it was, yeah, everything. It was basically, yo, you gonna kiss me or what? I was like, yeah, girl, I'm waiting on this moment. Yeah.
That's so super dope. I can't wait to have the butterflies. Like I know butterflies are real because I've had them in the past, but I cannot wait to have the butterflies. Like when you see the phone ring and it's them, you like
Every time. I got here today, and I'm like, I'm just so excited to be here. Like I ain't been here this whole time. Like I'm just so happy I'm back.
Cause I know, yeah, when she go out to get like food and stuff, I'm like, damn, man, she's gone too long. Where's she? Yeah. I just want to just look at her. That's it. Yes.
Well, guys, listen. I know there's a long road to recovery. I seen somebody asked in the comments earlier, but is there anything that we can do that you guys need? We you know we're all family now. Everybody's invested in what y'all got going on. Everybody is invested in Preston personally and what Preston has going on. But we're definitely invested in this love story, and we know that we all are like gonna be internet aunties and uncles. We is gonna be, even if we can't be physically at the christening. If y'all have one, we gonna be there virtually.
Oh yeah.
Like we are all invested in what's going on with you guys, and I'm just happy and blessed that I'm allowed to be able to be a part of.
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am. Yeah. I just ask really just for continued prayer.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, just that is great. We still have a GoFundMe up, but prayers are doing a lot more than anything. God gonna get us financially regardless. So I'm not. That's one thing that we don't
Yeah,
worry
we don't.
about it about. But yeah, just to continue prayer is more than enough.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And that GoFundMe is in the link in your bio.
Yes.
Tanisha, I think it's in the link in
It
your
is.
bio, right? It's also in the link in my bio. So you guys, if you have it on your heart to donate to that GoFundMe, then do so. If not, and you can, in your heart you would like to, but you cannot, hey, just make sure you keep
I pray.
Preston and his wife and his family in your thoughts and prayers.
Yes.
Yes. That is doing wonders in itself. Like I can attest. So yes. Yeah, that's all we have. Just prayers and just keep it coming.
And
Um,
I'll see
we're
you
gonna keep
next week.
content coming.
Oh
Little
yeah, enjoy
Ketamine
those
Chronicles.
ketamine chronicles.
Yeah, we
Oh
got
yeah,
those
that
coming
was
out.
crazy. That was
Yeah.
crazy.
That's how you know
That
the love is real, even on the drugs. I'm still trying to holler at this
Oh
girl.
man.
But yes, yeah, just keep our prayers. Keep us in your prayers. Um, and yeah, I'm definitely gonna keep the progress reports coming out as much as possible. Um, yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
And y'all don't feel sorry for Preston when I gap him, because he was picking on me,
Yeah.
trying to race me, and I wasn't even gonna race. But since he keep asking for it, I'm gonna give it to him. Whenever my car is ready.
Yes. Yeah. Well, whenever your car ready, when I get my prosthetic, because I do want that thing out the window when I drive by you. I do want to make sure I can put it out the window when I drive by.
Oh man, that's crazy. All right, Preston and Tanisha, I appreciate y'all sitting down.
Yes,
Thank
ma'am.
y'all for uh thank you, Preston, for telling the story, and thank you, Tanisha, for allowing him to be on here and
Mm-hmm.
tell the story.
Yes.
And yeah, I'll see you guys later on in the week. Well, no, I've already seen you this week. I'll see you next week.
Yes,
All
ma'am.
righty.
All right.
All right.
All right. Y'all be
Y'all have a
safe.
good one.
Have a good one.
All right.
All right, guys. So if y'all missed any of the talk with Preston, he told a whole story about what happened to him, how the accident happened. I'll have it uploaded on the YouTube, so you'll be able to watch the full replay. And then I will see you guys tomorrow night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for an episode of Rides and Vibes. Y'all have a good night.